Welcome to another episode of Apex Legends Deep Dive, and today's legend is Pathfinder.
I wish all of you could fight tomorrow too, but you'll be dead.
On today's episode, we will be looking at all the perks for Pathfinder, or Pathy for short, and choosing a 2-perk combo that fits best to have while in game. If you have played Apex Legends back in the early seasons, you know Pathy was a great legend to play if you wanted to have crazy movement and be able to swing around like Spider-Man as you please. But Pathy has gone through some tough times with nerfs and reworks throughout all the seasons. But I think now in season 20, with all the overhauls and upgrades that they did, Pathy may have received a pretty nice buff this time around. Before we begin, I would just like to say, if you're here watching this video, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking the time in your day to check it out. If you would like, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my content, and leave a like on the video if you're enjoying this series of Apex Legends Deep Dive. Enjoy. Alright, so this is the first episode where we will now start moving into the next class range in Apex Legends, and this next class range is called Skirmisher. This Skirmisher class includes Pathfinder, Octane, Wraith, Revenant, Horizon, and Valk. Similar to the Assault class, the Skirmisher class also has a special ability in which legends are able to reveal what item is in the care package. So for example, as each round progresses, we know that a care package comes into play. So with these specific characters, they will be able to scan the care package in the air, or you'll be able to decide whether you want the weapon or not once it lands as well. So this also gives you insight of when an item has been taken by the enemy team as well. Now this does seem kind of pointless to have as an ability for these classes, but I think specifically Respawn purposely gave these characters these perks because these characters here, these 6 characters, they are rotational and movement characters. So I think this is kind of like just an additional informational perk, because I think alone these characters have great abilities that they really can't, I guess they couldn't really figure out what other perk to give them, but that's just my opinion, so I can't really confirm that, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so let's do an introduction of Pathfinder's abilities. Pathfinder has a passive called Insider Knowledge. This allows you to scan a care package to reduce the cooldown of your ultimate, which is a zipline gun. So each time you scan a care package, it will reduce the cooldown of your zipline. So instead of whatever the full charge is for the zipline, gonna reduce it by 10 seconds. So it would allow you to get your ziplines faster. Pathfinder can also reveal care packages even if other skirmisher teammates have already revealed it already. This is a very good thing they fixed compared to how Pathfinder was in the early seasons. This means that as a Pathy, you'll always have a chance to get your ultimate quick, and there'll be constant zip lines all over the place and have it ready to rotate instead of using an ultimate accelerant to get it, charged up quicker. This allows Pathfinder's ability to have a zip line faster, completely way faster than what it used to be. I think before it used to only be when you scan the recon beacons, then you'll be able to get your ultimate fast. Pathfinder's tactical is called Grappling Hook. This allows you to grapple quickly into out of reach places. This has a cooldown between 10 to 30 seconds. I believe it was 11 seconds back in the early days, and this gives you all the movement in the world with a bunch of quick grapples back in the day. I remember you can definitely find many clips of the early seasons with that movement. It was definitely a sight to see. I believe the max length for this grapple is 21 meters. There's an indicator as a blue circle when you're playing with Pathfinder, and it will light up blue when you know you can grapple to that place. Anywhere else that it does not light up, then you are out of reach of it to use the grapple. Now the cooldown for Pathy's grapple is dependent on the distance Pathfinder travels while grappling. So if you grapple and you don't go far, that will equal to a short cooldown. It will depend, but if you go a long distance, it can go up to 30 seconds for a cooldown. So it will just depend on how far you grapple each time. Pathfinder's ultimate is called Zipline Gun. This allows you to create a zipline for everyone to use. It has a 3-minute cooldown, but obviously with all the passives and anything else that you can use to cut this, it will not be 3 minutes, that's for sure. And obviously this ultimate is very helpful for your team to move into places that are out of reach. So for example, you want to get them to a roof and they, it's hard for them to find a way to climb up. Throw a zip line, they can climb up real quick. The max length for the zip line is 200 meters. All right, so let's check out these level 2 upgrades for Pathfinder. Level 2 option 1 is Forward Scout. Gain access to survey beacons. This perk gives Pathfinder the abilities to use a survey beacon while in match. The survey beacons are the devices on the map that allows you to scan the entire map and see where all the players are in that moment. It's almost like a ping system. These consoles are only allowed to be used by recon classes, but having this perk active will let you use this at any time. I think this perk is very situational to have. This might be something you take a look at as a team, whether you want to use it. So for example, if there is no recon player on your team, then this option would not be bad to have because you get a free scan each time while you're playing with Pathfinder with this perk active. In my opinion, I think it would help with rotating and, being able to plan out which way you want to go, who you want to push. Would you push this one team without being third party, etc., right? So I think that's one of the good reasons to have this perk for sure. So it will be in that situation. Option 2, insider knowledge, basically gain access to the ring consoles. So this perk gives Pathfinder the option to use the ring consoles, which the consoles are used to show the next ring that comes up. Now currently this device can only be used by controller classes. This was Pathfinder's previous passive in the early seasons, but it was changed. Again, I think this perk is helpful to have, I believe, where you don't have a controller class legend on your team. That would be helpful for that. It would allow you to have great insight on the next ring and give you that advantage to know where to rotate next ahead of other teams. Or also this can also apply as just another free ring scan or another option for someone else to scan, just in case you already have a controller class with you. Then it would just be helpful in that aspect. All right, so let's take a look at level 3 upgrades for Pathfinder. Option 1, Death Grapple. Grapple cooldown reset on knock. This is probably the best perk for any aggressive player who wants to play with Pathfinder. That's for sure. I honestly think this might even mimic the old Pathfinder playstyle from the early seasons. Anybody who likes playing Pathfinder from those early days would really enjoy this perk 100%. It allows you to reset your grapple each time you knock a player. So for example, you could start an attack, and with this perk active, you can grapple into position, knock someone, get your grapple back, and then immediately grapple out if you want, or grapple into someone else, knock them, you'll keep getting your grapple back. It is definitely a very fun perk to use, I think, to use in mid-fight. You can use it to swing around instantly everywhere as long as you keep knocking players down. Option 2, Zipline Zen. Ziplines are now energized for a short time and grants 25% damage reduction while riding. So if we go down memory lane, and maybe all my new players, they probably will not be aware of this map yet because it's not in this season, but it's called Broken Moon. There are specific zip lines that give you a special boost of speed when you ride them. They're energized zip lines. So this perk basically gives you one of those zip lines from Broken Moon for a short time, and you're able to take less damage from it. I think this is a decent perk to have as well. If you combine it with a quick reset of your ultimate, you can have multiple zip for rotations and escape a little bit quicker and have that protection as well as you use these zips. If you have this perk active and you need to escape, it would be great because you'll be able to escape quicker than with the normal zip line. So you could throw a normal zip line without this perk being active, and it'll just have the normal zip line speed, no protection, etc. But if you throw one of these and you have the quick cooldowns, you'll be able to move faster because they'll be energized zip lines and you'll take less damage from them as well. So I think in that way, it's pretty good. All right, so my final verdict for Pathfinder was a bit difficult to choose. I think Pathfinder has great informational perks to have and rotational perks as well, whether for your team or just yourself. Now, I think this might be the first legend where I think no matter the perks, it might be great to communicate with your team to see which one might be the best option to choose when you upgrade. So for example, at level 2, I would discuss with your team, or if you play solo, just take a look of who is on your team already and decide which one is better to have in that match, in that specific match. As you know, each match is different, so choices can always change. But in the end, if you have to choose the best combo to use by default at all times, it would have to be Insider Knowledge and Death Grapple. The reason I say this is because I think knowing where the ring is a better option to have. The reason I say this is because I think knowing where the ring is a better option to have for the match overall. You will stay ahead of all who do not know where the next ring will go. So this kind of overrides the recon scan that you get from the survey beacons, in my opinion. Of course, I mean, I think knowing where the ring is better information to have at all times than having just a survey beacon, because a survey beacon is kind of just a quick pings for a while, kind of gives you a picture of where everyone is, right? I mean, it is great to have as well. Maybe if you want to have it for that match or that team you're playing with, it could be great for that. But overall, I think it would always be good to have the ring console, basically Patty's old passive. And as for Death Grapple, I think this is the best perk because it allows you to always have your grapple each time you knock someone. This will give you better movement and ability to pull some great plays to escape or even outmaneuver your opponent. Of course, this probably will go more for my aggressive players, the ones that just want to push every fight. And I think the other option, the other perk that comes along at level 3 is more of a support role option, giving you zip lines to help your teammates get out of situations quickly. So for level 3, I think it was a little bit difficult for me to choose one specific one, but I obviously will go with Death Grapple always, but in case sometimes maybe you're playing, you know, there's a situation where, hey, maybe we could use right now where we're at in this position, we could use the zip lines. So go with those fast zip lines, right? So it is situational, that's for sure. But overall, I think default, insider knowledge, and death grapple are the ones to go with for the most part. All right, well, there it is, everyone. That is all the details on Pathfinder and how each perk can benefit you or not while you're in game. I appreciate everyone that stopped by to check out the video. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to check out all uploads, shorts, and streams. I will be continuing to the next legend, Wraith, in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, never stop gaming. Amaru out. Peace.